What's going on, y'all? It's Edge. Welcome back to the channel. This is a very different video than what I'm used to, but I wanted to show y'all something that I think is relatively important for the future of the NFL, and that is the Washington football team's new logo unveiling, which will be happening. It was just announced that the Washington football team will be doing their entire rebrand and everything, releasing their new logo on February 2nd of this year. So I actually wanted to show y'all a little video about that, and then I wanted to actually give y'all my input on what I think the name will be, because a lot of people, this logo has gone kind of unnoticed, and I think it needs to be brought up because I think there's a good possibility that this will be the name. So let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video, and then afterward I'll explain a couple of things about this.
Oh boy. Whew. Now this looking good. I think these uniforms are off the chain. I would love to put 17 on one of these uniforms and run out.
Our journey to a new identity is a marathon, not a sprint. To get it right, we had to take every step of the process seriously. And the destination is a sum of all those parts. Before we dive into what's coming next, and trust me, it's time to get excited, let's recap our journey to date.
Washington is going to go with an interim name.
We are on the brink of starting a new chapter. But our history, our legacy, cannot be lost along the way. Now, more than ever, it's important that we stay connected to our roots. And nobody understands that more than Coach Joe Gibbs.
I just think the heritage and the history of our team is what's so important. And as fans, I think we're going to rally around that team.
Great job, Alex! Proud of all of you!
I'd say probably what's most important about us naming the team, it's trying to bring everybody together. Whatever the name winds up being, we're going to support those players and the coaching staff.
Everything we need is in this room!
That's the one thing that we got going for ourselves, is the loyalty that we have for that team.
Two men who played a part in our history and will continue to shape the future of this franchise. Doug Williams and Martin Mayhew.
Catch, man, catch.
Catch it.
Man.
Good to see you, man.
Man, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you know, when you look at this organization, man, it's all about football.
You know, having you here, having me here, having Jason here, he's putting people in place of the right kind of people to build it.
No, I agree. We've both been Redskins all our life.
Yeah.
But, you know, things is about to change. I say, you know what? Whatever the change is, I'm hugging it.
Yeah, and I hope it's something that kind of embraces, you know, DC and the culture we have here.
Yeah.
I think the fans want to see excellence in our branding, how we pull this off, and how we play on the field.
No doubt about it. You know, we're going forward. And that's what the rebrand is all about. I can't wait to see the team on the field and the fans in the stands with the rebrand on.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Keep your hand up. Doug Williams will be back in. You better bet on that, because Doug Williams is a competitor.
Now, we understand the importance of choosing a meaningful name, one that will anchor the team for the next 90 years and beyond.
We're in a pivotal point in history.
I think that moving forward, it's going to be really great.
I think the name should encompass honor and respect and pride and family.
The rich history of the Washington team.
This is going to be the name going forward, hopefully forever.
And we believe we found a name that our fans and our team across the DMV and beyond can really rally behind.
You like it?
Yeah, right off the bat.
It's the right attitude, right?
Yeah.
Run right through this tackle and on into the end zone.
Fan feedback has been crucial as a part of this process. And over the
I want to say, have y'all noticed anything so far? Any hints? Because there's a few, at least from what I'm seeing. Pay close attention. Just Just saying that.
The last 18 months, many of you have shared very vocally your love for one name in particular, Wolves, and specifically Red Wolves. We noticed this early on, and we immediately started exploring it as a serious contender. And it made it all the way through to the end stages of the process.
The legal team is part of the creative process, but also engaging in very technical work, right? Looking at all the similar names and logos that might be out in the marketplace and how to make sure that you create enough distance from rights that other folks have, that you don't get yourself into legal trouble. Yeah, searching the intellectual property landscape is extraordinarily complicated for something like this that's going to be this famous and this widely used.
As a result of the comprehensive vetting process that we had to go down, we became aware that these names were not viable options because of existing trademarks held by other teams.
What a tremendous play, but the key to this play was motion.
So, to get you excited for what's next, let's move on to where it all starts and ends, on the field. You're just one off-season away from seeing the new name and logo in action on game day.
It means a lot to be a part of putting together the first roster to play under that new brand and something that's going to be lasting. So I'm really excited about that opportunity.
If that doesn't feel real yet, maybe a glimpse into our progress on helmets and some really dope jerseys will do the trick.
Oh, now this is looking good. It's a clean uniform. I'm a guy, I believe in clean uniform. You just got
Notice
the number
stars.
and the uniform stripes around the shoulders, and that's it. That's going to be a good-looking uniform.
They're really clean, really crisp. They look cool. So I think the fans are really going to be excited about how the new uniforms look.
All right, so here is one of the main helmets.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. I think the look's going to be hot. I think the fans appreciate the look as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We are almost to our destination. And when we get there, it is only just the beginning. We're now to the point where we can confirm the date of our new identity, the date that it'll come to life. Without further ado,
Showtime on 3, 1, 2, 3, showtime.
But now we're on to Washington with Joe Gibbs' first-round pick.
It might be he just decided to run with it, but Sean Taylor came from about 30 yards.
Ball is out, and Washington's on it.
They're going to throw here. I think he's got time now. McKissick at the 30, turns to the 25, has the corner of the 20, 15, 10, 5, dives to the end zone! Touchdown!
I'm glad. They say early next year. I didn't know what early next year was. It could have been March, April, May.
It'll be great leading into the offseason to know who we are and what we have going.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be exciting, man. That's going to be fire.
Cool. So, what did that show us? So, first of all, obvious ones. The team's not going to be named Wolves or Red Wolves because they obviously couldn't because of trademarks. They actually went all the way through the process, though, and tried, which I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that they did this video to kind of give some fans some insight into the fact that they're actually, like, considering, like, fully considering all these names that people have presented to them. And they're really taking fans into consideration. I appreciate that. I might be a Cowboys fan, but I think it's good for the Washington organization that they're doing that, and it's not just Dan Snyder doing whatever Dan Snyder does. So, anyway, I think that the Washington football team's new name will be the Red Tails. Let me explain why. So, first of all, let's go back, actually, and rewatch a portion of the video, because I think that's important when it comes to kind of showing this whole thing, because there was something in the video, there are a few somethings in the video that really teased this name quite a few times, if you really, like, hone in on the details a lot. Because you just gotta see this. All right, let me go. Okay, so y'all, I just found the video on YouTube, so we can actually go through and really take a look at this more closely. All right, so here we go.
Really great. I think the name should encompass honor and respect and pride and family.
The rich history of the Washington team.
Notice that they want the rich. A lot of the fans want to encompass the rich history and want to express unity and something that they just want something the fans can all back together. So keep that in mind. Obviously, that seems like kind of an obvious thing, but history seems to be, I think, a prevailing thing with a lot of the names that have been presented.
It's going to be the name going forward, hopefully forever.
And we believe we found a name that our fans and our team across the DMV and beyond can really rally behind.
You like it?
Yeah, right off the bat.
It's the right attitude, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Rivera likes it, so I think he likes it. I don't know. Could have just been like, eh, it's all right. I don't know.
And on into the end zone. Fan feedback has been crucial as a part of this process.
Okay, so just notice. So this is the biggest part right here. This is the biggest part where most of that Red Tails name is kind of teased. So
and over the last 18 months, many of you have shared very vocally your love for one name in particular, Wolves, and specifically Red Wolves. We noticed this early on, and we immediately started.
Look on the right. Look what's right next to Red Wolves. Look what's right next to Wolves. Washington Red Tails. They wouldn't just do that on accident.
Exploring it as a serious contender. And it made it all the way through to the end stages of the process.
The legal team is part of the creative process, but also engaging in very technical work, right?
Again, it just flashed on the screen. If you did not see that, I'm going to play it in slow-mo right now. Right now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to play it in slow-mo so you can see this. Because I think this is really, really important.
Also engaging in very looking
hold on,
at all the...
Let me just find it real quick. Hold on, it might have been here. Alright, see, we got Red Tails again. Kind of showing up again. Red Tails. Look at all these. Look right here next to it. Red Tails. Red Tails. Red Tails. If that doesn't show you that's like the second most popular name, as well as the fact that they're teasing it in here, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, there's the wolf. I think it showed after this. Oh yeah, this is after they show that the wolf was not viable. It was after that. DC Wolves, Red Wolves, okay. I did like that name. And I'm not surprised that it got trademarked because that seems like a popular name among a lot of teams, just Wolves in general. Like a lot of high schools like to use Wolves and Timberwolves and all that sort of thing. So I'm not surprised that it got taken down. I'm sure there's some team named Red Wolves like somewhere out there. So I'm not surprised. I'm just waiting for that scene where the Red Wolves... It might have been earlier. Because it was there. It was there. If y'all really look at it, it was there. I just want to go through this really slowly because everything about this is important. Every single frame. Obviously, I think that's the biggest selling point for Red Tails. Either they want to do. But here's the thing. Okay, you're seeing Red Tails. I'll explain more about the Red Tails name, how it isn't just like a red-tailed like bird, and that there's more to it than that. But I do think Red Tails, I still think that's the prevailing one. I do like Washington Wolves. I'm a little disappointed that you really can't use Washington Wolves. I don't know why. Okay, it might have been here. Look at that. Look at the star there. Do you remember earlier in the thing where it showed the logo, look, there's the stars there. Red, that's clearly going to say Red Tails again. They are teasing the heck out of this. It's so clear, and I don't think anybody's seeing it. Well, there could be a bunch of people seeing it, but I feel like I'm the only person who's acknowledged it thus far. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else post about this online. I haven't made some massive discovery. I just looked at, like, guys. Oh, I think it's here, actually. Because this is where they start kind of going through the little... Because they kind of show, like, the Red Wolf... Or, not Red Wolves. Again, the Red Tails logo. They kind of take it out. I think it's over here. Maybe this is where I was before, but I'm pretty sure there was like a better glimpse of that Red Tails. I think it was like more red and blue, but maybe it's not there. But throughout this, they tease Red Tails this entire time. They really do. Okay, so I couldn't find that red, and I don't know, but maybe it was just, maybe I was thinking of the other logo, because look at how many times Red Tails popped up next to that the actual logo. Like, that could have been, I feel like it's staged, because they obviously made this for the Washington Making the Brand film, so I think it's staged, and I think that they're trying to tease Red Tails in it. Now let's go to the uniforms, because I think that's also
to get you excited for what's next. Let's move on to where it all starts and ends, on the field. You're just one off-season away from seeing the new...
Now this looking good.
Take a look.
It's a clean uniform. I'm a guy, I believe in clean uniform.
3 stars. Just the stars in general are important. Why are they important? Take a look at this. Washington Red Tails. Notice the star here, because so the whole history behind the Washington Red Tails is actually a tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen, and their planes all had that like star on the back of them, and they also had red tails, which is why they were called the Red Tail planes. So notice this is the Tuskegee Airmen plane. Look, notice the star. And take a look at the fact that there's 3 stars here. That could mean something like Washington Commanders, too. I did think about that. But the fact that Red Tails showed up that many times, as well as this, it makes me feel like it's Red Tails. Like, I'm convinced. If it showed up twice, it's got to be. Like, come on.
You just got the number and the uniform stripes around the shoulders and that.
And then the stripes, too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. No, look at the red and look at that. That matches up with that. That matches up.
That's it. That's going to be a good-looking uniform.
They're really clean, really crisp. They look cool. So I think the fans are...
Again, I think it kind of lines up with the silver, sort of. Here, the black and white lines up with the black and white. Look at how many of these there are. I might be diving too deep into this, but look at how many of these parallels there are.
Really going to be excited about how the new uniforms look.
All right, so here is one of the main helmets.
Now, they do give us a little bit of a glimpse of the helmet, too.
I love this.
Which is kind of similar to uniforms.
I think the look's going to be hot. I think the fans appreciate the look.
Again, with the red and the white. The stripes match up with the stripes again. The yellow stripes on the Tuskegee Airmen
as well.
On the Red Tail planes.
Yep.
We are almost to our destination. And when we get there,
And then the other thing is they mentioned at the end. I don't want to go through the whole thing again. But they mentioned at the end that they wanted something that could rally the fans together and that could encompass the history of Washington. which also is kind of important because I think the Tuskegee Airmen is an important foundation of our history in general, just in America in general. Because if you kind of like, if you look up just the Tuskegee Airmen in general, they were a group of African-American military pilots, and they were part of the Air Forces. So, yeah, here's just a little bit. They were military pilots, is what they were, which I think I kind of explained. But, yeah, they were military pilots. And because of the fact that they're in D.C., which is, like, the nation's capital. I mean, yeah, the actual place is in Landover, Maryland. But you get the point. The team, it's centralized in D.C. The fan base is centralized in D.C. The state capital, or not the state capital, the country's capital, Washington, D.C., you know, has a lot to do with, excuse me, it has, oh my gosh, the military is centralized in this whole, like, thing, because obviously they're centralized in the nation's capital, which means that stuff like this, like that history of the military is really important. And I think that that Red Tails thing, it popped up so many times in the video. It popped up a lot of times. Just, it parallels with this red tail. I mean, it's not perfectly like this one. It's more like this one. But basically, yeah, the Red Tails logo, it lines up a lot with that uniform we saw. It lines up a lot with the fact that there were red tails showing up everywhere. So, yeah, I think the Washington football team's new logo will end up being the Washington Red Tails, which I think fans can rally behind, which is what they wanted, because fans can rally behind this name, both because it kind of keeps the red in the name. People were saying Commanders or stuff like that. I think that could still create a little bit of backlash, because you can't, like, it just doesn't feel the same to not have red something. I think that's their goal. I think they want to keep the red part in that old Redskins name, but now transitioning to like Red Tails. So they want to keep the red centralized, and it's something that all the fans most fans will be able to rally behind, because I don't know, it just seems right. And then the history part of it, the actual Red Tails, is another part of, they wanted it to encompass the history of DC. That encompasses military history, which is important to the city of DC. So, Red Tails is what I think. Let me know y'all's predictions down in the comments, because I am curious to see what y'all think this new logo could be, because this is just a prediction, obviously. Those things could just be, they were teasing the heck out of it, and they unveil something completely different. I could be totally wrong about this. Like, really completely wrong. Anyway, if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Do all that. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.